People want to put me in jail for what I've done.
Anti-science aggression has now become a major killing force globally.
Why do people deny science?
People don't know what science is or how and why it works.
We own the science, and we think that the world, should know it.
During the COVID pandemic in the United States, 200,000 Americans needlessly lost their lives because they refused a COVID vaccine, even after vaccines became widely available.
The answers we get is because they say so, without a lot of...
Well, they're the experts. It's not just these are scientists. These are experts.
And now the anti-vaccine activism is expanding across the world, even into low and middle income countries. It's a killing force.
People are indicting the entire scientific community.
We had to really move at the speed of science.
Anti-science now kills more people than things like gun violence, global terrorism, nuclear proliferation, or cyber attacks.
This is fast-moving science.
And now it's become a political movement.
There are people who are sowing doubt in places where there's no need to do so.
In the U.S., it's linked to far extremism on the far right, same in Germany. So this is a new face of anti-science aggression.
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Our Secret Service is launching an initiative to help us identify people who may have been radicalised.
Know the Science details dozens of indicators that a friend or family member could be planning a terror attack.
If there's anybody out there that knows of someone that might be showing concerning behaviour around conspiracy theories, anti-government, anti-police, conspiracy theories around COVID-19 vaccination, we'd want to know about. We want to know about that. And you can either contact police directly or go through Crime Stoppers.
When any of us see anything which is not according to the health rules, or you see even in your own workplace, report it. We can't put up with people continuing to do the wrong thing.
Your country needs you to keep an eye on those you know, and if necessary, drop them in.
And we just ask everybody to do more, to report those who aren't doing the right thing.
Publishing a guide called Know the Signs to help us all identify potential terrorists in our midst.
A person who is really developing an us versus them worldview. It could be the COVID measures that the government took, or it could be other policies that are interpreted as infringing on rights. And it's what I sometimes describe as a kind of hot mess of ideologies and beliefs fueled by conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories about COVID-19 vaccines, global warming, Jewish people, and QAnon fan fiction like the supposed cover-up of mass pedophilia rings, and surprise, surprise, conspiracy theories about the 2020 election and January 6th. It's almost like his brain was constructed like Legos by right-wing media.
We've also seen some conspiracies from COVID misinformation recycled. The idea of a climate lockdown, for example, echoed the same unproven idea about COVID lockdowns, that they are a huge plot by governments and billionaires to control society.
There's actually research showing that people who believe conspiracies would actually be willing to engage in a conspiracy themselves.
Why at a gut level do people want to believe in conspiracy theories?
Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, right?
I believe that what they're seeing on TV and what they're seeing in terms of results is a hoax perpetrated by a cabal.
The deep state.
This new world order.
That is crazy.
Insanity. Secret cabal.
Pedophiles.
Here in Washington working to undermine the American people.
And it is trying to censor you.
They're trying to chill speech. They're trying to silence us.
To prevent the world from seeing what's really going on.
Some dark story we're not getting. Who's really controlling it all?
So it's a riddle, it's a quest. It's been locked down, so our natural inclination is to find what's been hiding.
Demonic forces and shady people behind the scenes that you can't see.
The train that's never late is that it's the Jews.
Always. Evil drink the blood of children.
In the Clintons and George Soros and Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci.
Vaccine conspiracy theories, false flag conspiracy theories.
Michelle Obama, the man.
It's a lie. It's a lie. Like 9/11 was an inside job. Sandy Hook was a false flag.
Fake stories of dead children, and it's heartbreaking.
The Oklahoma City bombing, the Boston Marathon attack.
Big lie in election denialism. It's a lie.
Global warming and COVID-19.
Replacement theory.
Population control.
Jewish space lasers.
Transhumanism.
A lot of people don't even know what that is, and they shouldn't, because it's insane.
Bizarre.
Outlandish.
Pretty homophobic.
Crazy conspiracy theory. That's the only word for it. Crazy.
Untethered from reality.
A deep, wounded conspiracy
nuttiness.
An anti-Semitism adjacent hyperventilation over globalism.
It's completely ridiculous.
Mind-numbing absurdity.
Sheer madness.
Hogwash, dangerous.
A garbage fire.
Poison.
It couldn't be farther from the truth. And as concerns about climate change become more mainstream, the sprawling theories linking COVID and climate change seem set to get more widespread.
Reality can't even exist anymore because it cannot catch up to the lies on the internet.
The World Health Organization included vaccine hesitancy in its list of top 10 threats to global health this year.
I mean, vaccine hesitancy is causing all sorts of problems. It's causing
the dis and misinformation, the scams, hucksters, and deceit across the web.
Misinformation has been linked to violence and deaths,
especially on health, social, and political matters.
Journalists are working as unpaid content moderators. Right. They have fact-checking organizations, which are great.
PolitiFact or Snopes or factcheck.org.
You know, armies of people to stop the spread of misinformation.
We will continue to be your single source of truth.
A friend or family member could be planning a terror attack.
We'd want to know that. We want to know about that.
Let's report it.
Your country needs you to keep an eye on those you know, and if necessary, stop them in. Potential terrorists in our midst.
Homegrown domestic terrorists.
Domestic violent extremism.
Domestic terrorism is our #1 threat.
Domestic terrorism.
Domestic terrorism.
Domestic terrorism.
Today, we're mostly looking at our neighbors.
The Republican Party is basically a domestic terrorist cell at this point.
Domestic extremists.
Domestic terrorist.
Domestic terror threat.
Domestic white terror.
Domestic violent extremism.
Domestic terrorism problem in this country.
Domestic terrorists.
MAGA terrorists.
Domestic terrorists.
Domestic terrorism. Domestic terrorism.
Domestic violent extremism.
Domestic nature.
The rise of domestic violent extremism is a serious and growing national security threat.
Threat of domestic terrorism.
The domestic violent extremist threat is also rapidly evolving.
Domestic violent extremism.
Dangerous domestic terror threat.
White supremacy.
Domestic violent extremist threat.
Terrorism from white supremacy. The white supremacist threat is the most lethal threat to the homeland today. Not ISIS, not Al-Qaeda, white supremacists.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Anti-science aggression has now become a major killing force globally.